Imagine the sun blazing down, hotter than ever, on Karbala. The air is still heavy, and the silence is broken only by faint, desperate whimpers. The distant glimmer of the river seems to mock the parched land. What happens when the very essence of life is withheld? When thirst, a silent predator, begins to claim its victims, especially the innocent. Today, on the 7th day of Muharram, 61 AH, Karbala becomes a crucible of unimaginable suffering. The blockade tightens, turning the sacred land into a battleground against a most basic human need. But even in this agony, a spark of youthful courage shines brightly. How did the enemy intensify their cruel tactic? What desperate pain did the Prophet's family endure? And how did a young heart, filled with immense love and bravery, rise to meet this terrifying challenge? Let's bear witness to the deepening tragedy and the glimmer of resilience. And we made from water every living thing. Then will they not believe? Surah Al-Anbiya, 21 verse 30. The small, brave camp of Imam Hussain, peace be upon him, had already endured the shock of arrival, the growing encirclement of thousands of Umayyad soldiers, and the chilling orders carried by Shimr ibn al-Jawshan. Since the 6th of Muharram, a new agonizing trial had begun. Umar ibn Saad, under strict orders, had commanded Hur ibn Yazid al-Tamimi to block access to the life-giving Euphrates River. That initial act had brought fear and discomfort, but now, on the 7th day of Muharram, the cruelty was intensified. The Umayyad army made sure that not a single drop of water could reach Imam Hussein's camp. They strengthened their lines along the river, patrolling relentlessly, ensuring no one could sneak through. The sun, already a merciless enemy in the desert, seemed to burn hotter, turning the air into a dry, suffocating furnace. The small supply of water that Imam Hussein's caravan had managed to bring with him was now completely gone. The thirst, which had begun as an uncomfortable ache on the 6th, now became a brutal, relentless torment. It was a hunger for water, a burning sensation in every throat. The dust, constantly stirred by the enemy's movements, settled on parched lips, making the thirst even worse. The suffering was not just for the strong men who were prepared for hardship. It was the women, delicate and vulnerable, and most painfully, the children, who began to truly suffer. Their small bodies, so sensitive to heat and dehydration, quickly showed the signs of extreme thirst. Their eyes became sunken, their lips cracked, and their skin became dry. The desperate cries that had begun yesterday grew louder, more frequent, and more heartbreaking. Al-Atash! Al-Atash! Water! Water! Thirst! Thirst! These cries, weak and raspy, came from every tent, tearing at the hearts of the adults. The sound of children weeping for water was an unbearable torment for Imam Hussain, his brave half-brother Abbas, and the saintly lady Zainab. They walked among the tents, their own throats burning, their hearts aching with helplessness, offering what little comfort they could, but unable to provide the one thing everyone desperately craved. The vast Euphrates River, shimmering deceptively in the distance, felt like a cruel taunt, its life-giving waters guarded by thousands of merciless soldiers. The very act of denying water, especially to children, was a profound act of inhumanity against every principle of mercy taught by Islam. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had always emphasized kindness, even in war, forbidding the harming of women, children, and the elderly, and the destruction of essential resources like water. Yet, his own family was being subjected to such unspeakable cruelty. In the midst of this agonizing suffering, a remarkable spirit of courage shone from a young heart. This was Hazrat Qasim, the young son of Imam Hasan, peace be upon him, and the beloved nephew of Imam Hussain, peace be upon him. Though still a boy, perhaps only 13 or 14 years old, Qasim possessed a maturity beyond his years and an unwavering love for his uncle and the cause of truth. He witnessed the suffering around him, especially the plight of the younger children. His youthful body felt the pangs of thirst, but his spirit was ignited by a desire to defend his family and the pure principles for which they stood. He felt an intense urge to contribute, to fight, to sacrifice, just like the older, stronger men. He was filled with a deep sense of duty and a longing for martyrdom, a concept he had learned from his father Imam Hasan and his uncle Imam Hussain.
Reverend, this day, the 7th of Muharram, some traditions specifically highlight Qasim's valor and his burning desire to participate in the ultimate sacrifice. He was ready to face any challenge, to sacrifice his young life for his uncle and for Islam. His bravery was a testament to the purity of the Prophet's lineage and the upbringing he had received. His thoughts were not on childhood games, but on defending truth. He was a symbol of the young generation ready to rise and sacrifice for their faith. While his eventual martyrdom would occur on Ashura, this day cemented his courageous spirit, his eagerness to contribute, and his readiness to face whatever came. This deeply moved those around him, especially Imam Hussain and Abbas, who saw in him the pure, untainted spirit of devotion. Solemn. Imam Hussain, seeing the anguish of his family, especially the children, maintained his noble composure. He knew that this severe test of thirst was meant to break their resolve, but instead it only deepened their conviction, uniting them in their suffering and their unwavering commitment to Allah. The cries of Al-Atash became a shared agony, but also a shared testament to their patience. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "No fatigue, nor disease, nor sorrow, nor sadness, nor hurt, nor distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick of a thorn, but Allah expiates some of his sins thereby." Sahih Bukhari, Volume 7, Book 70, Hadith 545. Imam Hussain and his companions were enduring beyond imagination, earning immense reward. Dratic, the 7th of Muharram, was a day when the physical torment reached unbearable levels. The heat was scorching, the thirst was excruciating, and the hope of external aid had completely vanished. The Umayyad army, reinforced and emboldened, stood guard over the river, showing no mercy. The cries of the children, the silent agony of the women, and the burning throats of the men turned Karbala into a symbol of pure, unadulterated suffering for the sake of truth. Yet, in the face of this despair, the spirit of individuals like Hazrat Qasim shone through, a beacon of youthful courage and readiness for sacrifice. The land of Karbala, now truly a land of distress and tribulation, was preparing for the ultimate sacrifice, marked by the escalating torment of thirst. This agony was a cruel weapon, but it failed to break the unbreakable spirit of those who chose Allah.